Good afternoon, ma. I have a story I'd like to share. This happened when I was living with my sister in Edo State. Please remove my name and keep me anonymous. Since our parents passed, it was just me and my sister until she got married. With nowhere else to go, her and her husband accepted me into their home. They feed me and pay for my university fees. My sister's fish business was what we survived on until she got married and stopped. So her husband pays for most of the things needed. One night, I was home for holidays after the end of semester. Usually, I prefer to stay in the hostel and wait for the next semester, but the school wanted to do some reconstructions, so they asked everyone to vacate the premises. On Friday, 1 week after I got home, around 1 p.m., I felt a hand touching my legs and something heavy laying on me. The house was so hot, so I slept with only a wrapper. It was my sister's husband touching my body. My sister wasn't around. She went for church night Fuji service because she's a choir. We fought, but he was stronger than me. He pinned me to the bed in such a position that if I tried to struggle, I would hurt myself. All his weight was completely on me, and he is a plus-sized person, so you can imagine. All my internal organs were screaming for help, got tired of fighting, and gave up. I was crying, but he didn't care. He thinks money solves everything. A 40-year-old drunk always come back from work with the smell of alcohol. Sometimes beat my sister whenever he's under the influence. My sister likes him because of his money. He ejaculated after like 3 minutes, stood up. While dragging his boxers up, he asked, "How much do you need? I will pay your school fees again and send you plenty money for food." I can't describe what I was feeling at the time. I just wanted to run outside and just run off somewhere and kill myself. It was the worst moment of my life. The next day, he ran off to work earlier than his usual time. My sister was back from church, so I went to her to explain what happened. I told her everything, thinking she would stand up for me, but guess what? She said I'm a liar trying to destroy our relationship. I cried for days and even fell sick. I had nowhere else to go. How am I going to pay my school fees if I run off? Where am I going to sleep? How am I going to eat? I had a boyfriend, but he still lives with his parents. I never told him what happened. I felt the only thing he can do is tell me sorry and break up later. I can't possibly undo an heartbreak with all that was happening. He came again another night. I was ready for him. This time my sister was home. I was awake. I no longer sleep early. He came in slowly as usual, thinking I was asleep so he can catch me off guard. Soon as he snuck in, I jumped off and yelled at him. He said, "Shh, okay, how much?" I started calling out for my sister. If someone was outside the gate, they would hear me shouting. My sister never came. "If you shout again, you and your sister will leave my house tomorrow," he said. I became quiet. We had nobody. I can't afford to see my sister back on the streets hawking fish. That life wasn't easy, at least for her. After a while, my sister finally came to my room. What's going on?" She turned to her husband and asked, "Is she bothering you?" I was still quiet because I'm even ready to take the blame. I can't let my sister go through all that suffering again. He told her he just wanted to advise and correct me. I dressed too indecent around the house, showing too much skin and cleavages. He said, "I wonder if she's one of those girls that does hook up and wears tight clothes to attract men." My sister started apologizing. While apologizing to him, she looked at me and took him back to their bedroom. I went to the living room to sit. I could hear them having sex in their room. I guess my sister had to use that to pin him down. Water ran down my nose and my eyes. I decided to drop out of school and start looking for a job the next day. It took a while, but I found a hairdressing salon. The owner was really nice to me. I told her my story and she decided to teach me the hair salon business for free. This was a breakthrough for me. I became her apprentice. She let me sleep in her shop, so I no longer go home at night. But I go in the morning to bath and change my clothes. One day, he was passing with his car and saw me. I was sweeping the outside of the shop. He drove back, parked, and called me. "What are you doing here?" "I work here." "What about school?" I dropped out. "If you come back and sleep in the house this night, I promise to pay your school fees and treat you nice. You can still go back to school. It is not too late." I didn't want to disrespect him, so he doesn't throw my sister out or give me one of those threats. But later that week, I took all my things from the house and left them alone. I now live with my second apprentice. I have no idea when I'll be back to school, but all I know is I'm done with my sister and her husband. Please, if there's anyone who has a part-time job in Edo Ekiti, I'll be in the comment section. Thank you.